Hello everybody, it's me, Nordic Dragon, and I'm making a quick announcement video upon a upcoming stream which I had. I had a plan that I will be playing through Fire Emblem 7, also known as Blazing Blade, and to challenge myself in maybe somewhat unique way, at least to me, is that I asked some of my internet friends that they would pick me one character from the available roster. Luckily, I don't think anyone really knew about Fire Emblem, especially the seventh Fire Emblem that I will be playing. And that is why I am actually somewhat excited for this stream and challenge because, well, I will admit, I was a little bit worried that I was given the worst characters, but I do think I have fairly decent chance on doing this. So the idea is I would do both Lyn and Hector mode on hard because, well, I haven't done them in hard mode in a while, so it's gonna be more challenging. And I will be doing Lyn mode because I do want some of the units that are introduced originally first in Lyn mode to be slightly stronger because I do not want to see a character that's is level 1 when they could be like level 5, for example. And I also like Lyn mode. There's definitely no bias that I like Lyn, okay? It's all objectified. Objectified. Nonetheless, in this household, we love our Lyn. And as you can see, I have a tier list. I was gonna make quote unquote the community level tier list and show which units were drafted and then be like, okay, this is commonly called the best unit. But it's somewhat boring, I guess. I can mention like which community thinks is the best unit because in the end, Fire Emblem does not have bad characters. When I say that, probably a lot of Fire Emblem players are gonna be like, what are you talking about? Yes, usually when people say characters are bad in Fire Emblem, is that it requires either supports or a lot of grinding to get them strong. And some characters, they start out weak, but they join early, so you have good time to level them up. But then you have characters who join somewhat weak, and in the very late of the game, meaning that they don't have much time to, well, level up. But I'm somewhat happy that I did get a lot of early game characters, or at least I can level them up somewhat early and not worry about that I'm gonna potentially lose experience points. And also I got almost every unit type potentially available, meaning that I do have a nice cover and I will not be like suffering that, oh, I don't have any flyers or mounted units. But enough intro yapping, let's get on the tier list. So let's start with the first character that was given to me, Florina, the Pegasus Knight, I was gonna say flyer, and she's one of my favorites. I think I instantly fell in love with her character archetype. She's your typical shy girl, but also I remember when she died in the same level I got her, but I was like playing quote unquote the Western way, meaning that if somebody dies, I restart and try to make them not die. But yeah, Florina looks like very fragile and weak, but when you get her into snowballing, she will carry the game. And yeah, I was very happy that she was actually given to me as my first first character by my friend. And the next character is Lyn. And you probably could already assume where she goes. I know, Lyn isn't the best character, especially when there's three lords as Eliwood, Hector, and Lyn is considered to be the weakest. Even though, personally, well, okay, Eliwood gets a mount, so he gets already higher stands because mounts are very useful in this game. And Lyn is, well, short locked, and yay, but who cares? Lynn is amazing. I know Lynn is not the most optimal or best character, but we love Lynn here. We're we love Lynn. Now, our first, none of my quote-unquote favorite characters. And look, that sounds like I hate this guy. No, I don't hate this guy. I actually kind of like this guy. Is Dorcas, and I do. I have started to enjoy axe users in Fire Emblem, so I have started to use a lot of axe users because usually axe users are considered to be somewhat weak because of the weapon type axes are strong but inaccurate. Well, somebody could say, but actually in Fire Emblem 7 the axes are actually fairly balanced. It's Fire Emblem 6 where axes are very inaccurate, and I'm like, I know or didn't know, but nonetheless, he was also given to me by, oh yeah, and asked each different friend, all of these characters. I don't have any script, by the way. I'm doing this like kind of rushing, so apologies for horrible quality and not scripting my videos. But you're getting the raw material, baby. Why did I say that? And I'm not gonna cut that. I'm not gonna edit this video. I'm literally just gonna hit the end recording and then post this. And people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Nonetheless, then we get our. I guess this she is maybe a tsundere type a little bit. I mean, she bullies this guy a little bit. This guy is called Eric, but he did not get picked. But she also is one of my favorites. I When I first saw her or read her supports, I didn't like her. But then I read like I think Eric's support and then was it Sane's support and was like, you know what? I still don't like how quote unquote ash holy you can be, but that's like the stereotype what you're going for. And also you're a healer, an early game healer, and we love our healers, so yeah, she grew up on me. Matthew, our thief that because well, he's a thief. Of course, I'm gonna use thieves a lot when needed, and especially when I learned that hey, some enemies have items that you can steal that are not dropping when you kill them. So I have missed on bunch of items beforehand on my earlier playthroughs, and I didn't know about that, and I'm upset. So I started to actually use thieves more often. Because usually when I look at the map and there's no like doors or chests, I bench all my thieves because I'm like their utility. But now I realize that maybe I should check the items as well. And yeah, that's just called growing up and learning how to play the video game. Lucius. Mm, I think I might put Lucius in here because, well, okay, the only time I actually used Lucius was to unlock Hector hard mode, which is like finished up like 5 minutes ago, because I realized the I did not have the Hector hard mode because I did not play through the normal mode yet, so I had to speedrun through that. So in there I actually did use Lucius, but I don't think I ever used Lucius. Like, of course, when I got Lucius, I use him. Did I get you? Did you hear what I said? Him, you know, he's a boy. He's not a girl. They even have a joke about that. Wait, who was the support for? I forgot whose support it was, but I think it was Sarah's support. Sarah's like, aren't you supposed to be like a guy to be a monk? And then he's like, yeah. And I can't remember did Sarah realized that on that first support conversation that Lucy's a guy. And I will admit, I also thought Lucy was a girl at one point before I was, well, told that, you know, he's a dude. And Hector. My man Hector. Literally the best axe user in the game. And the best lord, actually. Because he's basically like, if all lords are supposed to. There's three lords. Um, this is the Eliwood. I don't like Eliwood because he just feels so like basic bitch. That's kind of rude to say, but he doesn't seem interesting, okay? And his crit animation isn't that flashy compared to Lyn has very nice crit animation. But Lyn is a Myrmidon, and Myrmidon's only problem is that they will always be using swords. And well, this guy also uses swords only, but he will get lances and a horse. But Hector, well, he uses axes, so he already has a weapon called hand axe that can be used for range attacks as well, meaning that on enemy faces, usually enemies like to attack with range, so he can usually counter that very easily. Nonetheless, oh, I scrolled, bam. And yeah, he's quite strong unit. I like his attitude. He's literally kind of like, I'm balling, zero fucks given, and he's a Giga Chad. And he's also, if somebody else would ask, if you would ask any Fire Emblem player to like, hey, where would you place Hector? Hector would probably get like 4 or 5 stars, or depending what point system you would use. But then we shall go with Barte. Bartre? I think I have misspelled it on this notebook I have written down. But this guy, he's another axe user, and I also started to like him because I always call him Bart. And fun fact about Fire Emblem 7, he is in Fire Emblem 7 as well. Dorcas isn't because Fire Emblem. Oh, wait, what did I just say? Did I say he's in Fire Emblem 7? I think I have a stroke. I have a stroke coming, haven't I? Okay, but this is Fire Emblem 7, but there is Fire Emblem 6 that is actually. Oh, what am I saying? Fire Emblem 7 is actually a prequel to Fire Emblem 6. That's why Bartre is here. And well, I'm not gonna go through all the stuff because actually I still haven't quote unquote finished Fire Emblem 6, I think, which is actually kind of interesting. But nonetheless, he's in there, and I started to use him, well, because I was like, I like the axe dudes because both of them arrive at the same time. Especially when you play Hollywood Story, they literally come out of the village be like, yo, there's a freaking fight going on, let's go, Dorcas, and beat up these bandits. Next character, I was given a Jafar. And I actually have not, like, okay, I use Jafar when it's like given to me for free, but sometimes I don't even use him because, well, he's a strong character, but he's actually only strong when he has killing edges. When you don't have killing edges, he's quite weak. But also he has good stats, which causes you to think that hey, all assassin classes must be good, but no, assassin classes are only good if you have killing edge or high crit weapons with them, or supports that give them high crit. But that's enough ranting. If you want to know how strong assassins are, I highly recommend checking other content creators. Mekkah makes amazing Fire Emblem analysis videos, and if you want funny content from another Fire Emblem creator, you should check out Mangs as well. And my first and only mounted unit, Cavalier, is actually Kent, and Kent is also I don't usually use them because, well, there is two Cavaliers usually in the games, and I always use Sane because, well, I prefer green over red, and I like this Sane's headband, and I find Sane to be kind of more funny. He's kind of like laid back knight, while Kent is more serious knight. So yeah, I don't usually use Kent, which is very nice because I get to see how good Kent can actually become, etc. And last but not least, probably the most challenging character for me is Nino. Now Nino can be very strong. Nino is literally zero to hero character type. But the problem with Nino is that she joins like in chapter 17. I don't remember what's actually chapter 17, but very late, somewhat late chapter, and you can pretty soon promote her into a little bit stronger unit. But the problem is that she starts somewhat high level, but with low stats, meaning that you need to either save up the level up items to boost her levels and then level her up and hope that she doesn't get killed because she's very fragile as a wizard. And I, well, I did use Nino on the quick speed run for Hector hard mode because I was like, sure, let's try out Nino, because I don't think I have ever used them once, and that was the only time I used it because I knew that Nino was quote unquote. Okay, it's hard to say it's bad because what I just said earlier, but Nino is kind of bad character. But we love making people go from zero to hero, and I don't mind the grind. It's so satisfying to see when my characters get +6, and it's so satisfying, and that's all the units. I hope you can make it to the stream, and if not, I will be uploading, if I do remember, I will try to upload the VOD as well, but I will also try to make quote unquote more YouTube friendly video. And what I mean by that is not like cut the swearing out, etc., but like, you know that some people make 20-minute, 40-minute video from like, let's say, 4 hour stream. So I'm gonna maybe do something like that as well. And I'm trying to see if I can do that sooner, but I might just do the stream, post the VOD, and then work on other projects I have. But we will see. And thanks for checking the whole video. But if you only check to see that, hey, I'm gonna stream, that's also okay. And I wish you guys very good night or morning or whatever time of the day is. Thank you for watching.